Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. First, the headlines. The Steering Committee of Omani Cultural Heritage Program reviews its document preparation. The CEO of the Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development states that the registered SMEs on the database exceeds 15,000. And Busandam International Investment Company discusses ways of overcoming difficulties being faced by its establishment. Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. The Steering Committee of the Omani Cultural Heritage Program reviewed in its second meeting the work process of the preparation of the program's document, due to be completed at the end of the current year. The meeting was presided over by His Excellency Dr. Abdullah bin Nasser Al-Harrasi, Chairman of the Public Authority for Radio and Television. The meeting discussed the results of the report Administration Reality of Omani Cultural Heritage in Government Organizations and Academic Bodies and Institutes of the Civil Society. It is worth mentioning that this program is certified by the Scientific Research Council that is meant to establish research units to oversee the cultural heritage and utilize it in social and economic development through working with authorities concerned in research projects and carrying out scientific studies in such heritage and providing its results to specialized authorities. The number of entrepreneurs registered at the Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprise Development rose to 15,000 up to last week. This was announced by Khalifa bin Saeed Al-Abri, Chief Executive Officer of the Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development. He also said that the authority had empowered company to prepare its strategy for the upcoming 5-year plan. In order to provide high-quality services to patients and to raise awareness among all segments of the society on the functions of emergency medicine department, Sultan Qaboos University Hospital organized an awareness campaign. It also aimed to shed light on cases received by the department and ways to assess the priority of cases. Statistical studies showed that around 30,000 patients had visited the emergency department during 2014 who were not classified as emergency cases, representing 50% of all cases. The department contained 24 beds equipped with state-of-the-art medical appliances with 24-hour medical staff. Preparing the 9th 5-year plan for health development 2016 to 2020 was the center of discussion of a workshop being organized by the Ministry of Health, represented by the Directorate General of Planning and Studies. More than 250 participants from various government, scientific, local, and international organizations take part in the 3-day event. A roadmap and work steps were discussed to upgrade the health system in the Sultanate during the upcoming period, through qualifying medical cadres and providing health establishments with latest technology in the health fields. Still to come in our news bulletin. For the aim of instilling the culture of traffic safety, a short film on road accidents is presented at Al Qurum Natural Park in Muscat. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman television. Saudi-led airstrikes killed a group of around 20 Houthi fighters outside the southern Yemeni port city of Aden today, and also shook the capital Sana'a in the north. A coalition of Arab states began bombing Houthi forces, the dominant faction in Yemen's civil war, in March in a campaign to restore President Abdurrabbu Mansour Hadi to power, shortly after he fled to Saudi Arabia. The militia sources said the Houthis were killed when the air raid hit their military convoy as it was transporting an artillery piece toward the northwest suburbs of Aden. In the battle-scarred district of Crater, residents said that 4 people died of dengue fever. Electricity, water, and trash collection have lapsed during the conflict. Residents said the warplanes launched at least 10 strikes north of Sana'a, causing massive explosions. Airstrikes hit the home of a Houthi leader in the central province of Ib and targeted areas in the northern province of Sa'da and the southern province of Lahj. South Korea today successfully carried out its first test of a domestically built ballistic missile that can hit all of North Korea. South Korean president watched the launch of the missile, which has a range of more than 500 kilometers. At the same launch pad, South Korea tested another missile aimed at shooting down an enemy ballistic missile, according to defense officials. South Korea is striving to bolster its defense system in response to provocative acts from the North. The North's recent claim to have test-fired a missile from a submarine caused security worries among many South Koreans, who suspect that Pyongyang is working on means to launch attacks that are harder to detect. Under the auspices of His Excellency Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Kalbani, Minister of Social Development, in the presence of the Minister of Health, the World Day to Combat Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances held this morning at the golf course in the Wave. More details in the following report by Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubai.
World Day to Combat Narcotic Drugs and Psychotropic Substances, an event annually held to bring more awareness to the public on danger that it possesses.
We are meeting here today with the National Committee for Compacting the Drug Use and Abuse. Unfortunately, the drug issue is an international problem and it is growing gradually. And Oman is in a position where it is in the trafficking, unfortunately, center of drugs from different countries. There is loads of efforts from His Majesty's government to compact this problem, and it's a social, financial, and health problem.
The ceremony held here today is based on the firm belief of officials at different sectors of collective responsibility towards this important phenomenon which has hunted Oman and the world community alike.
The worrying thing and the alarming things, the age of starting the drug abuse. If you look at these 5,164, 46% of them between the age of 24 and 34. So if somebody started the treatment at the age of 24, that means started abusing drugs at the age of 19 or 15. And also the worrying things, the majority of the drug abusers, they use the injectable form of drugs. This, in addition to the addiction, they can also spread, and they do spread diseases such as HIV/AIDS, hepatitis B and C. And these diseases, all of them are chronic and they can lead to death.
A number of papers were presented. The first paper, which was presented by Dr. Mahmoud Al-Abri, the director of the National Executive Committee for Narcotics and Psychotropic Affairs, who elaborated on the achievements of the National Executive Committee for Narcotics and Psychotropic Affairs. The second paper, which was presented by a police officer, Sulaiman Al-Tamtami, who elaborated on the tireless efforts made by the Royal Oman Police in order to reduce the phenomenon of addiction and prevent the entry of narcotic substances to the Sultanate by land, sea and air. The third paper, presented by Saif Al-Saadi, which included adaptation program that offers rehabilitation services to the survivors. Finally, the paper from Dr. Muna As-Siyabi introduced details about the social competition to curb the spread of narcotics and psychotropic substances.
In the recent year, the numbers of the drug misusers has increased, and there came the need to for such awareness programs and events to to make the public more aware about the prevention and of such problems, and as well how they can help the addicts in the recovery and the rehabilitation.
Efforts have been exerted by all concerned governmental bodies to combat this illegal drug use. Abdullah bin Ahmed al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television.
In order to highlight the successful steps of entrepreneurs, Press, Publishing and Advertising Technology Center inaugurated My Imprint book on its second edition. The book included more than 50 successful stories for entrepreneurs in various productive fields to keep in line with developments witnessed by the Sultanate. Muscat Securities Market, MSM, celebrated handing over certificates to staff who completed compulsory courses from the Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment. The program, approved by the Institute, targeted the staff working in securities field. The program also aimed to uplift the capabilities of those working in securities field. It also gave advice to investors and auditors of MSM. The celebration included handing over certificates to 45 staff who successfully passed compulsory courses from the program approved by Chartered Institute for Securities and Investment. The Final Moments is a short film that narrates details of final moments before and after road accidents. This film was produced by the Ministry of Heritage and Culture for the aim of instilling the culture of traffic safety among all society segments. It also highlighted the causes and effects of road accidents on Omani society. Using mobile phones while driving was the main reason of road accidents, according to the film. The film was shown at Al Quram Nature Park under the patronage of His Highness Nadir bin Mohammed bin Abbas Al Said. This film reflects the vital role that the ministry plays in discussing an important social issue of road accidents. A number of topics related to establishing Musandam International Investment Company and its suggested activities topped the fourth meeting with entrepreneurs and a ministerial committee. The meeting discussed challenges and difficulties faced by the company, in addition to the issue of subscriptions and reserving a number of activities for the future. The meeting was chaired by His Excellency Sayyid Khalifa bin Al-Mardas Al-Busaidi, Governor of Musandam. Now for the general weather forecast. Clear to partly cloudy skies will prevail over the coastal areas of the Governorate of Dhofar and the neighboring mountains with chances of scattered rains. Rest of the Sultanate will have clear skies with chances of intermittent rains over parts of the Hajan Mountains. Winds will be southerly to southeasterly, light to moderate. Seas will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 2 meters. This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The Steering Committee of Omani Cultural Heritage Program reviews its document preparation. The CEO of the Public Authority for Small and Medium Enterprises Development states that the registered SMEs on the database exceeds 15,000. And Musandem International Investment Company discusses ways of overcoming difficulties being faced by its establishment. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. From all of us here at the newsroom and the studios, it's good night.